Let me be real with you for a second. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is sitting in their car after a long shift, staring at their bank account on their phone, and feeling that sick, hollow feeling in their chest. You know the one, where the numbers just don't add up, and you're not sure if you should laugh or cry. If that's ever been you, stay right here, because what I'm about to share might be the most important thing you watch today. Living paycheck to paycheck isn't just a money problem. It's a life problem. And the real cost of it goes so much deeper than most people ever talk about. Let's start with something nobody wants to say out loud. The average person living paycheck to paycheck is not broke because they're lazy. They're not broke because they don't work hard enough. In fact, most people in this situation are some of the hardest working people on the planet. They're up early, they're staying late, they're sacrificing weekends, they're doing everything society told them to do. Get a job, work hard, pay your bills. And yet, at the end of every single month, there is almost nothing left. Sound familiar? That's not a coincidence, that's a trap. And understanding that trap is the first step to getting out of it. Here is the first brutal truth about what living paycheck to paycheck actually costs you. It costs you time, not just a little bit of time. Years. Decades. Think about this. When every dollar you earn is already spoken for before it even hits your account, you're essentially renting your own life. You wake up, you go to work, you pay other people, and then you do it all over again. Research consistently shows that people who live paycheck to paycheck spend an enormous portion of their mental energy just trying to survive month to month. That is mental energy that could be going toward building something real. But instead, it gets swallowed by stress, by planning for just the next 2 weeks, by wondering if the car is going to make it another month without breaking down. And here is where it gets darker. The less financial breathing room you have, the worse your decisions become. This is not opinion. This is science. When your brain is in survival mode, when you are genuinely stressed about money, your cognitive capacity drops. Studies have shown that financial stress alone can reduce your effective decision-making ability by a significant margin. So you make choices you wouldn't normally make. You swipe the credit card for something you shouldn't. You skip the doctor's appointment because you can't afford the copay. You stay in the job you hate because the fear of losing even that paycheck feels too terrifying. And here is where I want you to really feel this with me. That job you hate. You've probably thought about leaving it. You've probably had that conversation with yourself at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep. You know your value. You know there is more out there for you. But you stay, not because you want to, because you feel like you have no choice. Paycheck to paycheck living doesn't just steal your money. It steals your courage. Now listen, before we go any further, I want to tell you something important. There is a program linked in the description of this video. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it right now because frankly, most people who need it most are also the most skeptical, and that's completely fair. But if you're serious about changing your financial situation, and not just watching another video and doing nothing, take a look when you get to the end of this. The people who take action today are the ones who look back 6 months from now and can't believe they almost didn't. The people who don't, well, they're still watching videos a year from now wondering why nothing has changed. You'll know which one you are by what you do next. Now back to the real cost. Let's talk about the hidden cost almost nobody mentions. The cost to your health. Chronic financial stress triggers the same physiological response in your body as physical danger. Your cortisol levels stay elevated, your sleep gets disrupted, your immune system weakens, your blood pressure climbs, and you can't just think your way out of it, because the stress is real, the threat is real, and your body knows it. People living paycheck to paycheck are statistically more likely to skip preventative healthcare, more likely to rely on fast food because it's cheap and fast, more likely to develop anxiety and depression, and more likely to report feeling trapped and hopeless. And the cruelest part of all of this is that being unhealthy costs more money. So the cycle deepens. You are stressed about money, so your health suffers. Your health suffers, so your medical bills grow. Your medical bills grow, so you have less money. And the spiral continues downward. Now let me paint you a picture. Imagine a car spinning its wheels in mud. The more it spins, the deeper it sinks. And someone is sitting in that car, flooring the gas, exhausted, confused, wondering why working harder isn't helping. That car is where most people are financially right now. And the solution has never been to floor the gas harder. It's to change what's underneath the wheels. Here's another cost that cuts even deeper. The cost to your relationships. Money is the #1 cause of conflict in relationships. Not because money itself is evil, but because financial stress turns people into versions of themselves they don't want to be. Arguments that start about a grocery bill are never really about the grocery bill. They're about fear, about feeling like you're failing, about shame, about two people who love each other, both terrified, and neither of them knowing how to fix it. And if you're doing this alone, without a partner, the loneliness of financial struggle is its own kind of weight. You decline invitations because you can't afford them. You put on a smile at work so nobody knows. You scroll through social media watching other people's highlight reels wondering what you're doing wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just in a system that was never designed to help you win. This brings us to something called the opportunity cost of paycheck to paycheck living. And this might be the most expensive cost of all. Every single month that passes without building savings, without building investments, without building any kind of financial foundation is a month of compound growth you will never get back. Time in the market, time with your money working for you instead of against you, that's irreplaceable. 1 year of missed opportunity in your 20s or 30s can cost you more in real dollars over your lifetime than you might earn in an entire decade. That's not meant to scare you. That's meant to show you that every single day you wait has a very real price tag attached to it. And this is where I want to shift the energy of this video, because so far we have been in the pain. And the pain is real. You deserve to feel it fully, because that feeling is fuel. But here's what the other side looks like. Imagine waking up on a Tuesday morning and not immediately checking your bank account with dread. Imagine that the first thought you have isn't about bills. Imagine your phone rings and it's an unexpected expense, and instead of your stomach dropping, you just handle it. Because you have a cushion, because you built something. Because you made a decision at some point that you were done surviving and ready to actually live. That kind of peace is not reserved for wealthy people. It's not something you have to be born into. It's something that is built, deliberately, with the right knowledge and the right approach. Think about what changes when money stops being a source of terror in your life. Your relationships improve because the number one source of tension disappears. Your health improves because your nervous system finally gets a break. Your confidence at work improves because you're no longer making decisions from desperation. You start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. You start thinking about your future instead of just surviving your present. People who break the paycheck to paycheck cycle consistently describe it the same way. They say it felt like they could breathe for the first time. They say they didn't realize how much of themselves had been swallowed by financial anxiety until it was gone. They say they wish they had done it sooner. And here's the thing that should make you lean in. The gap between where you are and where they are is not as wide as you think. It is not a gap of intelligence. It is not a gap of worthiness. It is a gap of knowledge and strategy. The people who break free from this cycle are not more special than you. They simply found a different way of operating with their money, and then they applied it consistently. The math changes dramatically when you understand how money actually works, when you understand how to make your income go further, how to build buffers, how to stop the bleeding, and how to redirect even small amounts of money into something that grows. Most people were never taught this, not in school, not at home, and that's not your fault. But continuing to operate without that knowledge, when you have access to it, that becomes a choice. And what does staying stuck really cost you? Let's put a number to it. If you are losing just $200 a month to inefficient spending, that's $2,400 a year. Over 10 years with even modest investment returns, that's potentially $30,000 or more that never existed in your world. And that's a conservative example. Most people are leaking far more than that without even realizing it. The cost of not knowing is not zero. The cost of not changing is not zero. Every year you spend in the same cycle is another year of stress, another year of health consequences, another year of relationship strain, another year of watching opportunities pass by. So here's my challenge to you. The program linked in the description below is specifically designed to help you stop the cycle. Not with gimmicks, not with get-rich-quick promises, but with the kind of real, actionable knowledge that transforms how you operate with money from the ground up. Most people will watch this video and do nothing. They'll tell themselves they'll look into it later, and later never comes. The ones who take action today, the ones who decide that today is the day the cycle ends, they're the ones who will be in a completely different place this time next year. You already know you want things to be different. The question is whether you're willing to do something different to make it happen. The link is waiting for you. And so is a version of your life where money is no longer the thing that keeps you up at night.